Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for November 2022. Being that this is a general reading, the messages may not resonate with everyone. I do suggest that you check back to your Moon and Rising sign reading. But also, in order to gain any insight into your own personal situation, requires a personal reading. If you have not heard, the website will be ending on the 31st of this month. I'm taking it offline temporarily. And if you want to book a reading, you can simply go to the About Box section of my channel. I have there the reading packages listed and the prices, and then you can simply email me and we'll go from there. Okay, so I have with me, I've already done some meditation on your sign and glyph. I have the Radiant White. I have the Levita Sibila. And since I've been using the Golden Nostradamus throughout the other readings, I'm going to go ahead and stick with those unless the reading calls for something else, okay? So let me go ahead and get the camera turned around. And I just updated my MacBook, and now you can use your phone with your camera, with your web thing wirelessly. So I got to try to figure out how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to put one more shuffle. Oh, well, that just flew out of the deck. 3. You know, that card's been coming out for everybody. It has come out in every single reading thus far. I think from, I don't know, from maybe Sagittarius on. It's crazy. And I don't know if it's because, because the 3 of Cups implies a celebration, and it's usually some type of universal event. So this could be a baby shower, a wedding, a graduation, a baptism, a christening. It could be any number of things, a birthday. It really can be any number of things. So just find it odd that this card keeps coming out. Perhaps people are in a celebratory mood because, we're about to leave 2022, or maybe this is an indication of the holiday season that's coming up. I'm not quite sure, but it has definitely come out in almost every reading from Sagittarius on through Pisces. So it's quite interesting. So here we go. That it just flew out of the deck. You saw it. Next row, 10 of Pentacles. I'm sorry, next card. Okay. The Hierophant. Well, maybe somebody did get married and married into a wealthy family. I mean, that's what that's telling me. Okay. Next row, next card. The King of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords. Oh, well, damn it. The 5 of Swords. I don't know what happened there. Now I have 2 5s over here. Last row, the 2 of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. That's definitely some type of marriage, commitment, proposal, engagement. Last card down. Wow, the World card. Well, this is quite interesting. I also have 2 10s here. 2 aces, 2 5s, 2 10s. I have 1 court card. A King of Pentacles. An earth sign individual. Because even if you are female or you take the female role and you are watching this, this can represent you in the idea that you are more outward facing about perhaps your finances or the work you do or the business that you may own, or just basically the things that you are doing. It's more outward facing energy. What is the energy over the entire reading? It is the 2 of Swords. Wow. Quite interesting. It's kind of funny because there's this idea of marriage floating around here with somewhat of a formal proposal, so to speak. This is typically what this card in the context of marriage meant. But out of all of the aces, the Ace of Swords is the most powerful in the deck. And it says that if it shows up, you can best believe that something is about to change. The card represents objectivity, clarity, logic, thinking, the formulation of ideas and plans, communications, belief systems, okay? All aces are yes cards. But then sometimes the Ace of Swords, because it is a sword, can cut both ways, right? So it can be the excessive degree of everything. It could also be the idea that maybe you are feeling anxious and upset, maybe even depressed, or someone is, about something. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I also feel that whatever this Ace of Swords is, there's a truth in it, okay? And as we often know, truth is oftentimes painful and never convenient. And I say that because I have these 5 swords here. And this looks like it might be an argument and or a dispute, a disagreement at most, okay? But it also together gives me 6 swords, this idea that there could be a separation, that there could be a severance of ties, whether this is in a business relationship or a romantic relationship or even a friendship. Something changes, and I can't quite figure out, and we see there's a huge change down here at the bottom. Okay, so I gave you the 3 of Cups here that we talked about celebration, usually a universal event. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Now, this card represents family wealth, generational wealth, the kind of wealth that, can be passed down. It implies being in a group of people, which you know very, very well. As you see all those people together, they're comfortable. There's the young couple, the old man, the baby, the dogs. I've seen this card show up when it talks about family businesses that are owned, family ventures that have been very profitable for everyone. But also I've seen it show up when you've been working in a company for a long, long time. Those people have become somewhat like your family. And the idea is that everybody works together and pulls their weight so that everybody can prosper. Okay, that's the idea of the 10 of Pentacles. Here with the Hierophant, it is a 5, and the 5 is always a changing energy, just like the 10, okay? The 10 tells you that the end of the cycle has come about or will be coming about. But the 5 says that it is a situation that is ups and downs and can be upheaval, and tension, discord, that kind of a thing. Now, typically the Hierophant will represent, he can represent just that, a priest or a clergyman. He can represent someone who sits at the top of an organization and kind of disseminates down information. So a hierarchical structure. He speaks to tuning into the higher self. He speaks to the idea of colleges and universities. He represents Venus. So this could also be sometimes a contractual issue, a marriage, so to speak. Okay, and if you take out the romance, that's all a marriage is. It's a contract, right? So he can sometimes represent contractual issues. We see here this King of Pentacles. I just told you who this individual would be as a profession. The person could be a business owner, an entrepreneur, an accountant, a banker, a loan shark even. Somebody who is wealthy, but his wealth did not come from having it at birth. It came from him working for it, okay? And then we see this Ace of Swords in the center. Now, the 5 of Swords is typically a card of victory. And it says that, if you have to stand up for yourself in a dispute, you should do so. But you do want to be careful with arguing with people about things, because it can turn into a situation where people will stoop to any level to win. So we can see here in this particular card, we see 2 people walking off. And usually this is whomever I'm reading for. So this is going to be you, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, standing here in the foreground. Now, these same two swords you have over your shoulder here are these two swords here. Okay? And the one sword you are holding there is this sword. So it tells me that this argument or disagreement will be occurring. I think it will happen rather rapidly. Okay? And then we come down to the Two of Pentacles. Now, twos always represent options, choices, dualities, oppositions. Did I say choices? I think I did. Or being at a crossroads. This could be, when I say an opposition, you being opposed within yourself about something, or someone actively opposing you. Now, normally one of the interpretations of the Two of Pentacles is this idea of play. I never get that energy off of that card. Basically, it is the idea of juggling two situations or two things at one time, and doing so quite well. I've seen it show up when perhaps maybe you are working two jobs. It can talk about juggling your finances, robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak, keeping all your balls in the air. I have seen it show up sometimes to indicate that there is a move or movement on the horizon. But it also tells me that you're kind of emotionally at sea here. See how the ships are being rocked? Okay. But you're going to be given an opportunity to either take a new path or do something a different way. Now, this can have to do with finances. As you can see, it's more heavily weighted towards pentacles. But the finances are not just about, the pentacles are not just about money. They are about the doing of things, the third dimensional aspect. In order to make money, we have to work for it, right? So it's about doing stuff, okay? But it's also about us taking the money and enjoying the earthly plane. Drinking, eating, having sex, buying clothes, traveling, living life. That kind of a thing. So to me, this is an opportunity being presented to you. If not a new financial opportunity, then this is going to be most definitely a new path, a new direction in which you will be taking. As you can see here, that 10 has already changed to the ace, down through the Ace of Swords. And that, in turn, changes everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Interestingly, we had the eclipse, the solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse at 2 Scorpio yesterday. As you can see here, we also have the north nodes and south nodes. North node in Taurus, south node in Scorpio. These are our 4 points here. The Leo Aquarius axes, but also the Taurus and Scorpio axes, and these are our money houses. Okay, this is creativity for ourselves versus things we do for mankind. Okay, and so I can't look at this particular guy because, quite frankly, he represents a person, an individual. Okay, traditionally, I don't see any messages or news here. Doesn't mean that there's not any. The Two of Swords sitting over the entire reading, to me, is an indication that either you are not at ease with something, or maybe you've received some unsettling communications. Maybe you want to reconcile or make up with a friend or a loved one or something like that. But it kind of also indicates that you feel or you think you don't have enough information to make a decision or choice. So instead, you do nothing. Now, sometimes this card will tell you to trust what your intuition is, but I don't see what the problem is at the moment, right off the bat. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the 2 aces. I'm going to give you 2 meanings of the 2 aces. I'm going to give you dual meanings for the 2 10s and for the 2 5s. Then we're going to go back and look at all of these cards as they relate to both the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant. Okay? So I'm going to give you the first set of interpretations for the repeater numbers. The 2 aces speak to a new partnership. So that's why I was saying this might not necessarily be a romantic relationship. It could be a business relationship. So a new partnership or two aces. Two fives, constant bickering, backstabbing, and ill will from others affect the relationship. We do have this card of women, and we do have this card of family. And then two tens speak to the end of a relationship or phase in the relationship. So remember, I said, in a way, there's this roundabout, kind of very subtle hint of a severance of ties here. Okay? Now, we're going to start with gathering extra information, and as I come across the repeater numbers, I will tell you what they mean. We'll start with the Three of Cups here. The Three of Cups. It talks about abundance, joy, hopes, dreams, and happy conclusions. It indicates that something positive is on its way into your life. You may also receive some good news at this time. Celebrations, special occasions, parties, and gatherings are indicated when the Three of Cups appears in a reading, and there are blessings, good times, and much happiness to be had. Well, it can tell of the beginning of a successful new lifestyle with a happy conclusion. It can indicate that any problems that have arisen in the past will be resolved and you will soon be free to celebrate. Well, that may be so, but we're looking at past, present, future, interplay of the cards. The trouble doesn't show up until the present or future, okay? And when I say present, that could be, present is just that. There is an indication of this card with the Hierophant. It tells of an up-and-coming gathering, meeting, or convention which will reap positive rewards. It could be an unconventional or unusual gathering or specialized meeting or conference. All involved will be appreciative of the results. It may indicate a universal type of gathering. So, unusual or unconventional gathering or specialized meeting or conference. So it's kind of covering all of the the possibilities of people coming together, and we see that here. I don't know if this is a family event to announce something. This is not necessarily an announcement to me. 10 of Pentacles. That is an announcement. The 10 of Pentacles, indeed. A family business which thrives and ensures that the family fortune or investments remain intact for future generations. It speaks of financial benefits and prosperity, be it in the form of an inheritance or sharing of family assets and business success. It has connections with the buying and acquiring of property, which can be seen as the acquisition of solid foundations for the future. It indicates a gain and stabilization of finances. It may also be alluding to a possible inheritance or monetary gift from a family. It tells of finances beginning to establish and grow. It asks you to be patient with yourself if you are recovering from some emotional problem or issue. What it does not tell me is if it means anything next to these cards. Now, 2 tens. Remember I said I was going to be giving you double meanings. Where is it? 2 tens tell of a career change for the better. Okay? The first one says the end of a relationship or phase of a relationship. The next one is a career change for the better. Remember what I was saying? This is usually hospitals, universities, organizations where there's a hierarchical structure. Let's move to the Ace of Swords. That ace, it is doing the most. Right there in the center. All right. It implies that there's a focus on a critical and potentially volatile situation or circumstance. You may find yourself in a position of having to take action or make a decision under stressful circumstances. It is important that you keep your emotions balanced in order to make the correct decision. It tells of the excessive degree in everything. It may be implying a feeling of sadness, depression, anxiety, and wasted efforts. It carries with it the expectation that things will not work out as planned. As a number 1 card, this is an indication of new beginnings. It indicates that success is now taking effect, therefore all worries will disappear in short time. Long-term goals and plans should be made, as it is a most auspicious time. Put your energies towards new ideas and concepts. Now I have the 2 aces. It often tells of a wedding. And again, what is a wedding but a contract? Okay. Ace of Swords with the World card is a sign of a negative attitude or mindset, and it may be implying an obstinate attitude and standpoint and a reluctance to take on good advice. But it also has a meaning next to the Wheel of Fortune. It depicts a feeling of hopelessness. It implies that you may be stuck in a situation you are not happy with. The message is to focus on your goals with positive intentions and do not be distracted by other options or possibilities. It is also an indication that you may need to start over and not be distracted by other possibilities so that you do not feel as though you are stuck at a dead end. That's just redundant. But it also has a meaning next to the 2 of Pentacles. It indicates that financial gains, success, and victory are yours. So to me, remember when I said it's 2 things happening at once? You're dealing with 2 situations at once. And sometimes this card can be about the inability to make a decision, confusion, confused thoughts, not seeing things clearly, or sweeping things under the rug, not wanting to see what's happening. Okay, could be that too. So it's 2 things happening at one time in which either you or someone you are dealing with is creating. Did I read the Hierophant? I did not. I read the wrong one. That was the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant and the 2 of Pentacles. Let me go back and read the one for the Hierophant. It implies that you have tried to change circumstances in your life to no avail. It is telling you not to scatter your energies or divide your attentions, but rather consolidate your ideas and plans and work fervently towards them. The Wheel of Fortune says, it depicts a feeling of hopelessness. It implies that you may be stuck in a situation you are not happy with. The message is to focus on your goals with positive intentions and do not be distracted by other options or possibilities. And with the 2 of Pentacles, it indicates that financial gains, success, and victory are yours. So maybe you're making the money and you got the financial security or whatever it is that you're looking for, but you are not happy with this situation. And I don't know if this is a marriage or if it's a job, some type of contractual, you signed a contract, maybe the money was good, but now you're not happy with perhaps the terms and conditions. I'm not exactly sure. Let's move over to the Ace of Pentacles here. This is quite interesting, Aries. Ace of Pentacles tells me nothing next to these 2 cards. But it says it may be foretelling of success and material gain and indicates prosperity combined with pleasure and beauty. There is a realization of one's goals when this card appears. It tells you that things are looking up for you. Expect an important document, letter, fax, or email in the coming days, as this will form the basis of a new and prosperous beginning. An award, degree, diploma, accolade, certificate, letter, or important legal document is on its way into your life, and its contents will please you as it signifies recognition for work well done. This may have been something you've been waiting on. Remember I said I didn't see any messages? Well, there it is. Finally, we come to, that's it. Let me see if there's some type of indication of this 2 of Swords, because it does have an influence over the reading. Then we're going to go to the Sibyllus. Okay. Just want to see if there is a... No. Again, if I want to take this 2 and add it in, 2 twos tell of a commitment or an engagement. Could be the same thing. It represents a situation which appears impossible to move through or away from. There is a feeling of unrest, ill ease, and anxiety. The fear of upsetting the status quo makes it preferable to just ignore this issue. Ultimately, though, the issue will need to be faced and dealt with. If you have been involved in a dispute with a friend or an acquaintance, the 2 of Swords indicates that an amicable solution will be found, with both parties being satisfied and positive about the dispute being resolved. But it also indicates that there is a sort of power struggle going on in your life, and you are asked to weigh up the positive and negatives in a situation and make a clear choice or decision which will solve or at least alleviate the problem or situation. It could be indicating that reunions or reconciliations will take place at this time. I don't necessarily see that. It may be indicating the breakdown of a once close relationship and that there is an urgent need for a balanced and rational approach to the situation. So see, that's what I'm saying. Even with these 2 cards here, there's this hint of a separation, a severance of ties. It says it is implying that calm and thought must be taken when making decisions and choices. Take the time to consider all options very carefully before making any firm commitments. Put off making choices until you are absolutely positive it is the right and most appropriate one. It can indicate a stalemate in your affairs and a feeling of not knowing which way to turn. You will need to look to a new and or different approach. Where emotions are involved, this card tells of mixed emotions and a feeling of confusion, which lead perhaps to feelings of upset and sorrow. Well, we've heard that here. It may be foretelling of unsettling communications. The message of this card is that the key to achieving a satisfactory compromise is by open and honest communication. Do not allow prior grievances and bitterness to influence the communication. As once a compromise has been reached, you should feel a sense of achievement at having been open-minded and considerate of others. It asks you to show caution and restraint against making decisions you may later regret. Where multiple choices are concerned, this card says be prepared. Be prepared to be open to all options, otherwise you may lose out. Stay open-minded. But what it doesn't do is tell me anything with these cards. Okay? So, I'm going to take a look at this too. I don't know why you can't see that card. There we go. Sorry you didn't see it that whole time. I'm going to take a look at this 2 of Swords to figure out what really is happening here. Okay? I don't know if this is a property issue. When I say a contractual issue, so it could be like a divorce or an inheritance or the severance of a, and I just kind of get the sense that maybe someone is holding something back from you with those 2 keys here at the base of his feet, because things can either lock things away or release them. And the fact that we have this argument here underneath there kind of leads me to believe that something's being kept locked away or hidden. So first, let's take a look at this 2 of Swords here. Oh, the cards are upside down. These so spirity. Might as well leave it upside down. That's the way it came out. The letterato. And it always represents a person. Somebody who is very skilled and very knowledgeable. It also implies the idea that there's a conversation that needs to be had with this person, or this person is waiting for you to come and have a conversation. Then we have the reverse sacerdote. Well, I don't know what's going on with the cards, but there they are. I want to take a look at Now, if the letterato and the sacerdote are the same person, well, I'm going to take a look at this Five of Swords. What is the fight all about? Okay? Because I don't know what the fight is about. The dispute. Well, there it is. Money. Valuables. Same thing. Something very valuable. And the viaggio. And a trip or visit. So this is someone returning. I don't know if they are returning to claim these gifts and things. Jewelries, valuables, property, books, documents, whatever this is. Okay. But we see the arrival of this person. We see it. So I want to take a look at this. This to me is quite interesting. So we have the Sospiri, Letterato, and the Sacerdote, with two of the cards being reversed. We will start with the Sospiri reversed. I think she is the Six of, I never know, Six of Swords. Or Spades, rather. Reversed. Here we go. It indicates the end of a dark period of anxiety and uncertainty, but not after having experienced several changes in fortune and mood swings. It is the end of a period of yearning, of struggling to find answers. I think that's quite interesting, particularly with the image of this card. You will finally obtain clarification as to the future and obtain a long sought for resolution. Therefore, it is a sigh of relief. The card often indicates the ability to be strong and overcome whatever difficulties life present. It indicates someone who has great spiritual resources and a deep intuition, and someone who has become wiser thanks to first-hand experience. Financially, this card indicates the end of a turbulent period and warns not to put any more energy into something that should have by now borne fruit. This card is also connected to writing and creativity, and it indicates books, manuscripts, and their publication in one form or another, as well as pointing to professions related to the arts, journalism, writing, public relations, and communications. Remember, this is not just a place where this can indicate books and documents and those things, okay? Generally, it indicates that someone will come clean and you will receive an honest explanation as to why things were done and said. It indicates a confession of some kind, a clarification, the revelation of a secret. Remember I said it's like somebody's holding something back from you, those keys. It indicates a revelation of a secret that should not have been kept from you. And it also refers to the unburdening of one's soul, releasing something that has oppressed a person and caused many sleepless nights. It refers to pangs of consciousness and remorse, the kind that will prompt someone to talk, especially if the Ace of Diamonds, which it doesn't. But there's a kind of a thing there. But it can also indicate the end of desire, whatever that may be. It can be the end of a passionate relationship, the end of an attachment, someone who no longer loves you, or vice versa, the end of a leisure activity, or something that used to give you pleasure and now no longer interests or satisfies you. It can also indicate the end of craving for something, a positive sign when someone wants to know if they'll ever manage to lose weight or perhaps stop smoking. But when it is surrounded by negative cards, it warns of people with no conscience, ruthless people who want to ruin your reputation. It usually heralds defamation, lawsuit, lies, and malicious conduct from someone who has nourished feelings of envy for you. The discordant energy. Well, see, it's pointing the other way this time, pointing towards this particular situation. So to me, this is this individual projecting something into the future. Such people are, for all intents and purposes, sent as a karmic test to see if you will or will not stray from your true purpose. From a higher perspective, this card warns of a temptation to revert back to the old ways will be presented to see if the lesson will be learned, and it warns of inconsistent results. Broadly and without any specific connotation, the card indicates uncertain events, ups and downs in the area inquired about. It indicates the need for you to step outside of yourself and listen to reason, as there is something that is clouding your judgment. Now, we see the letterato here. And basically, the letterato is known as the artiste in the other version of the Sibillas, the scholar, a learned man, a talented man, someone who has to do with the law, this guy, such as a juror, a judge, or lawyer. He can represent a male between 40 and 55, but he can be an older sibling, relative, a lover, a partner, or someone who is single or divorced. Figuratively, it represents intelligence, intellect, and inner strength. The second meaning of this card is creativity. It can indicate any artist of any kind of artist, which is how the new name for this card, what I was just saying. It heralds recognition in one's field, unexpected surprises, good news, projects that yield good results, a promising career, extra income, and good relationships, or reconciliation with the help of a trusted man. I disagree with that because he's presented himself upside down. I completely disagree with that. So I want you to listen. To this guy. Upside down. It represents acrimonious lawsuits, injustice in all its forms, legal battles, and serious problems with the law or state. It indicates someone who has the entire system or establishment law against them. It indicates someone who has no morals and or no respect for authority or tradition. It also represents anarchy, disorder, and chaos, both spiritual and temporal. This person can also be someone who leads a double life under the facade of respectability. It can indicate a corrupt official or an obstinate adversary. It also represents an opposing lawyer who is better than your lawyer, or a man in a position of authority who is ruthless and persistent. It indicates a serious obstacle and the likelihood of suffering a great wrong. Financially, it represents taxes and, anyone in a position of authority, denoting that they are at the root cause of the problem. It also points to loans and mortgages that are denied or the risk of foreclosure. In love, it can represent a partner who has fallen out of love, or a calculating partner, or coldness in the relationship, growing apart, a bitter divorce, breakup, or a prenuptial agreement. Well, I still stand by what I said. This is either a divorce or a breakup, a severance, and if not a romantic issue, this definitely has to do with some kind of business contractual issue here. All right, so formulate your question for the Golden Nostradamus. Oh, well, the sun has come out. Always a good thing. And it says, what does it say? Number 23. The wise enjoy their just rewards. The fool wants more than he can afford. Success will shine down upon you. You will be given some power and kissed by good fortune, but only as a consequence of your own integrity, honesty, and commitment. This card. And I think it requires a choice. Giving up one of those pentacles and taking one of them. And once you do that, you can change the energy of the situation. I don't really know what that means, but I hope that helped, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste. Bye.